Welcome to the video version of my journal. I'm Stephanie Rivers. Come on in, kings and queens, and welcome to the conversation. You're watching me. I'm Stephanie, and this is my journal. If you are new to the conversation, I want to welcome you. And if you are returning, I want to welcome you back. I've got a guest today, so we will give you some information about how you can chime in if you would like to join the conversation live. We're going to be talking about technology today. So, technology. Technology is advancing our society, and a lot of people, when I say technology, you might think, well, what exactly is technology? So I'll just say this. If you were at least 45 years old, you probably remember when you used to have to walk to the TV to change the channel. Remember that? If you're at least 45. And now there's a remote control, and you spend more time looking for the remote than you do actually just going to change the channel. And if you're at least 35, you remember when there were no cell phones. You had to make a phone call from the house only, and you just had to miss the call. And so I remember being in the dorms at college, and in my dorm room, there's only one phone, and everybody, all your suite mates had to actually use that one phone. So you had to negotiate and coordinate your phone calls. And I was dating a guy who attended Knoxville College in Knoxville, Tennessee, where I grew up, and we called it KC. KC only had one phone on the whole floor. So they had one phone for every floor of the dorm. And so that's how you kind of know if you were as old as I am, if somebody really liked you, they really had to coordinate getting you to the phone. Because if he wanted to call me, he had to have a quarter because it was a pay phone. So you got to actually, make time and have some money, only a quarter, but to make the phone call, and you had to coordinate with everybody else on the floor because it was only one phone. And if I wanted to call him, I would call him, and maybe somebody would answer the phone, probably somebody who was waiting on a phone call, and that's why they were standing next to the phone. But anyway, I would have to tell them, "Hi, I'm calling for Jimmy Ford," and they would holler down the hall, "Jimmy Ford, you got a phone call." And then they would say, "Oh, he's not answering," because they didn't want him to take up the time on the phone because they were waiting for a phone call. So it was just so funny, and it sounds archaic, but that's how you had to do it when you were trying to use the phone. But now these days, everybody has their own phone, their own cell phone, their own smartphone. You can do so much with that phone. You can pay bills, you can order food, you can have a personal virtual assistant even. So that's what we're going to talk about, the advancing technology that has advanced our society. And it seems that every other month there's a new new piece of technology that's coming out, and that's supposed to make your life more convenient. And I guess that could be a good thing if you have access to the technology. But that's the thing. In the Black community, and all over the country, in fact, we can, there's not always the access to technology. And whether that's for lack of money or a lack of the resources or just being exposed to it, the technology is not always available in the Black community and other communities of color. And so there are some forward thinking people who are trying to bridge the gap, and we are going to talk with one of those people today. His name is Brumfield, and he lives in Fort Worth, Texas. And so we're going to talk to him about how he's bridging the gap in his community. So welcome to the show, Ro.
Thank you for having me.
So, do you remember any of those things that I was talking about? Walking to the TV to change the channel and having only one phone in the house, and then going to college and having one phone, and then you had to coordinate the phone time with everybody on the floor?
Yes, we actually, I'm probably a little bit dated, but we had the clicker. There was a remote control, and it didn't have numbers on it. You just click, and you click it one time, and the TV go up one time. You click it the other way, it go back down. So yeah, that was like the original remote control. And yeah, we had the one telephone at one cord just stretched in each room. We even had, I even remember party lines where several houses had one phone number, and everybody had the same phone. So if you pick up the phone, somebody down the street can be talking. So you had to hang up the phone and somebody else down the street was talking. So yeah, it's we've come a long way as far as technology.
A long way. So now, I wanted to talk with you about your organization, Our Tribe. Now, talk to me about what influenced you, what got you to create Our Tribe, the um, um, organization, and then we can talk about the app that your organization has developed. What is Our Tribe about?
Our tribe is actually the modernization of our culture. It's taking everything that worked well for us in the past and bringing it to the future. So we have several elements to our tribe. We have the marketplace, which we'll probably talk about here in a second, where you can go and locate and contact with Black-owned businesses. We have the Our Tribe social media, which is our version of Facebook. You can go on, and it's Facebook without the Facebook police. There's no censorship or anything like that. Everything's there is legal, and you can talk about whatever, but you don't have to worry about algorithms or anything like that. It's just whatever you post, everyone in the community will see it. We also have um, our tribe has evolved, because at first it was basically supporting Black-owned businesses, but we've gone from there to having our own attorneys, to reaching out collaborations with with the Frisco Gun Club and other gun entities and other corporations. So what started small has actually grown to something big, and everything is just providing services for our community and just making us better as a whole.
So now, what? So that's a lot. How long has it been since you had the vision of Our Tribe to now, when you have these different parts or different portions or different offerings of Our Tribe? How long has it been for you to get to this point?
Actually, our tribe started as Legacy Network back in 2015. For some reason, that Legacy Network, the name wasn't resonating, the idea wasn't resonating, and so we kind of rebranded last year. And so we've actually been Our Tribe close to, it's about a year and a half now. We've actually been the name 2 years, but actually doing what we're doing probably about a year and a half now. So
And
it's been,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just saying it's been a journey. It's nothing that happened overnight. This has been probably a 5 or 6 year journey to get to this point.
And why do you think it's kind of like the you might have come across some um, uh, um, business owners who would say, I don't want to be a part of a certain, I don't want to be considered to be a Black business owner. I just want to be a business owner, because they feel like they would be pigeonholed, or they would be looked at as less than. It's kind of like the argument of desegregation, or having school system that is segregated versus an integrated school system. Some people don't want to be, they want to be looked at as just one kumbaya family. Why do you think it's important to have an Our Tribe set up whereby Black businesses are featured and their services are featured?
It's important because, and I understand what you're saying, because I ran into that on this journey. Is that Black stigma, and which surprises me, because we can always be on the negative end when it comes Black. We can go to jail at 12 times the rate for the same crime, We can be looked at differently. We can, and all that's Black, right? So we can get the bad end of being Black. But when it's time to celebrate being Black, now it's a problem. Now, surprisingly, I've only ran into a couple of Black-owned businesses that gave me that concern. They didn't want to exclude their other customers, which I can understand. What I don't understand, because you can do both, right? No one's going to come in there with their fist in the air and scare off any of your customers. It's just a way to celebrate us. We're answering the question, where are all the Black-owned businesses? If someone says where are all the Black-owned businesses in DFW, you have to go to several sources. You got to go to groups. You got to Google. You got to do ask around. It's really difficult to find Black-owned businesses. We're going to answer that problem. We're going to answer that question.
And so when it comes to technology, people from underprivileged communities, you could say that they get exposure to technology, to apps, and to the latest, a smartphone, because they have the money to go buy a smartphone, or if they're in school, they have the access at school with the computers. But it took, during COVID for us to see that when the schools are closed and the library is closed, you had kids sitting out in front of Starbucks and the fast food restaurants trying to do their homework for their virtual classes, because they didn't have that technology at home. They didn't have the same access as some other people who didn't have to worry about whether school was open or the library was open. So what should, how do you think your app, the Our Tribe app, and what you're trying to do to bridge the technology gap, how do you think that is going to fill that gap and help people in the Black community?
Basically, because it'll become a one-stop shop. The majority of the needs of our community will be in one place for you to receive it. If you need help, legal help, if you need financial help, if you need gardening help, it'll be the one-stop shop, and we'll add features as we go. Because right now we have a social network, we have the marketplace, we have the attorney assistance, we have conflict resolution. So if there's a beef in the community, you can push a button and speak to counselors about that conflict. So we're building as we go. But it will, to answer your question, it will be one-stop shop. So if you're a Black person, you need pretty much anything in the community, you'll be able to go to one place to receive it, to get that help.
Now, I know how long has the app been in existence and developed? Is that something that has just the past few months? Is it just in Fort Worth for now?
It started, I copyrighted in 2020. So we're not 2 years yet, and I copyrighted it, and where we are right now is two different things. When we started, it was zero. I mean, we have any businesses. So now we have over 300 businesses in the app so far. So we're close to about 2 years old right now.
So I did download the app. So you just go to any of the app stores, basically, and put in Our Tribe like you would anything else, and then it comes to your phone. And so if somebody needs a tow truck, or they need let me see if I can pull it up. And I also added my drone business to the Our Tribe app. And so is there a certain type of business that you are, that do people apply to put their business on the Our Tribe app? How do they get approved to be a part of Our Tribe and the network that you're building?
That's a good question. There is a page that you go and apply to register the business. Now, once you apply, just anyone can join. Once you apply, the admins will get that information, and then we'll take a look at the business, reach out to the business owner, and eventually add you to the app. We want to make sure that we only list reputable Black-owned businesses, and so there's an approval process. It's not as scientific. We just want to make sure that you are a reputable Black business. You are providing goods and services to the community. Right now, we're Dallas, Fort Worth, and eventually we do expand. We do hope to go nationwide, but right now we're just Dallas Fort Worth.
Okay, so I downloaded it on my phone. Let me see if I can show you. And it's right there. And then you punch it and it has all the different, my light is in the way. The different, so our tribe community, Black Business Directory, the police stopped me, conflict resolution, need a tow, radio, notifications. So there's different uh categories, and just right now it's in the DFW area. So
Mhm.
what is your vision for how big this could be?
Actually, now let's say there are Black-owned businesses apps, right? We have We Buy Black. It's probably the largest one. What we plan to do that the other apps are not doing, we're community based, right? We can pretty much touch one another, fellowship with one another, have events and social gatherings and stuff that we could actually become a family. The other apps just post a business there, you find a business and you buy and sell from that business, which is a wonderful thing. Definitely not discarding that. But we offer a community with the app. We offer a family with the app. You're going to be able to come out, see us. If you have an ideal, post that ideal, and it's just one way of bringing us all together and not just buying and selling, which is great. This app will redirect millions back into our community, but also there's the other aspect of it that you'll be able to actually see the business owners, fellowship with one another, and actually build that way. Back in the day when we didn't have technology, we came together just by meeting one another, going to town hall meetings and the juke joint or the barbershop or however we fellowship back in the day. Where our tribe is kind of bringing that back.
And so I know this past weekend you guys had a what was it called, a flash mob, and that's
Yeah.
like a pop-up shop event. What was that about?
Yeah, basically, a flash mob. A mob stands for melanated on business. We pick a brick and mortar. We're going to try to do it monthly, and the ideal is to put that business owner on spotlight. Hopefully that we'll generate enough revenue for that business to pay 1 month of rent. I mean, we don't even ask what the month of rent is, but that's just the idea behind it. Is to give them enough money so they'll be able to pay some bills and also fellowship with them. And out of that, every single time we do that, new relationships are built. Now we have a meeting place that we didn't have before then that we can go for free and fellowship one another in Mesquite if we want to have a meeting place there. So every time we do this, great things happen. You meet one another, you meet new business owners. We're actually building our own economy, and that's just one way of celebrating that, or one way of putting that business out there a little bit better, and also getting more people. We picked up 2 new people, by doing this, introducing them to the art tribe culture.
So, it seems that these days, when we try to talk to people in our community about technology and being a part of the wave and not behind the wave, a lot of people think of it just about as a first person point of view interest. They forget that their children are their children's future is at stake, because their children being involved in the growth of technology is going to help their generation and help them. And then if they have grandchildren, because each generation after us is watching how we operate. And so what we feel is important for us to be involved in, our children are going to feel it's important for them to be involved in. Just like, probably if your parents didn't smoke or drink, you probably ain't gonna smoke or drink, at least not regularly. And so, just the habits and how you move and how what was that like? One of my friends was like afraid of strawberries because his mother told him he was going to be allergic to strawberries because she was allergic to strawberries. It was just like, maybe not. Maybe just eat a strawberry and watch him and see what happens. So I'm saying that to say, in your household, how is it important for you? How important is it for you for your children and grandchildren to see you being involved with technology and how you move? Do you think that's going to affect how they act on a daily basis with technology?
Absolutely. Just for instance, cryptocurrency. We have a cryptocurrency presentation this Tuesday. It's free to the public, it's free to our community. Um, a lot of people don't know about that, and if we don't get ahead of the curve, it's a new currency. We have the one chance ever to get ahead of the curve on a new currency. So that's something that we should be taught ourselves. That's something we should be teaching our kids, and our kids can teach their grandkids because digital currency is not going anywhere. So just to add to your point, absolutely, it's important. My dad used to tinkle with all kind of electronics and stuff like that, and so that's kind of where I got mine from, and hopefully I'm passing it off to my kids and grandkids as well. So you are absolutely correct. We're responsible for the direction of our generation, direction of our legacy, and if we just go with the status quo, and if we don't be innovative, we don't get ahead of the curve, we're just spinning our wheels, and we're going to be in the same spot that we are for generations to come.
So, when you say cryptocurrency, is that Bitcoin or is that
Yeah.
a Bitcoin a part of cryptocurrency?
Yes. Now, granted, I don't know a lot. That's why I'm joining. That's why we got some experts, people smarter than myself. Someone that's been in the industry for 12 years should be delivering that presentation come Tuesday. So all the ins and outs and what is Bitcoin versus cryptocurrency, all of that really will be explained Tuesday. Because honestly, I don't understand it myself yet.
And that's that would be open to members of our tribe.
Absolutely. Well, technically, it's open to everyone. Our tribe is pretty much a culture, so you don't have to join our tribe. You just have to work the plan. Buy from Black-owned businesses. Go to the range a little bit more. Come to cryptocurrency presentations. So just participating in the culture, you're our tribe. So yes, we're promoting it outside the group, and anyone's welcome to come. This is something we're giving back to the community and hopefully make us better.
Okay, because as a matter of fact, someone on Instagram, as a matter of fact, and maybe I just thought people just put up pictures on Instagram. Maybe they do other stuff on Instagram, but
Mhm.
approached me via message and said, do you started talking to me about Bitcoin and manage, my manager, my account manager, something. And I'm like, this, I've had people want to talk to me about Bitcoin before, but sometimes I feel like, and maybe other people feel this way too, and that's why I'm bringing it up. I feel like I am diluting my focus sometimes by getting involved with so many things.
Mhm.
And I only have so much time and so much money and so much energy that I think sometimes that's keeping me from getting further ahead. If I just focus on one thing, Steffanie, quit doing all these other things. But I do see the benefit in, just like we're saying, keeping abreast of what things are and the terminology, and so that I won't be so behind. Do you feel like that at all?
Absolutely, and I see what you're saying because if you're of age and you got a lot of stuff going on, it can get overwhelming at times. But I would just equate Bitcoin to currency. You don't have to be that involved to know how to spend money, or you don't have to be that involved to know what money is. Same with Bitcoin. You don't have to be that involved in it, but you have to at least know about it, be knowledgeable enough to know when you can take advantage of it, then go ahead and take advantage of it, or at least know what it is. I mean, it's just something new, something that's not going away. So we can either learn about it today or be forced to learn about it 5 years from now. But if we learn about it now, get ahead of the curve, then maybe if it can win, it can benefit our community, then we're already ahead of the curve. We don't have to be, we're 200 years behind financially of our European counterparts. So this is a way for us to get ahead of the curve and close that 200-year gap.
So more people in general, and Black people and specifically, should find out, try to be involved with what's going on, and know about the latest in technology, and especially with currency. And I did read that cryptocurrency, or just Bitcoins, but probably cryptocurrency, is kind of like the one world currency. You know how when you go to Mexico, it's pesos. If you go to Vietnam, it's dong. If you go to US, is the United States is dollars. There, cryptocurrency is going to be like one measurement of money. So I
Mhm.
have read that much about cryptocurrency. So that's one thing. I know that one of the things that you spoke about with our tribe, well, two things. One is there's, of course, the growing pop sector, the fastest growing segment of new gun owners in the United States is Black women. And so we've got the SHOT Expo coming up. So we can talk about that a little. And number two is you spoke about real estate. I don't know if you want to get into, what are the future plans that you see that our tribe is going to be involved with?
Absolutely. We'll talk about the Shot Expo a little bit. Our second annual Shot Expo will be occurring in the Frisco Gun Club June 25th and 26th. It's an all Black gun weekend. It's designed to get the average, not even the average gun owner, the beginner to intermediate gun owner, get them out. If you're curious about guns, you are correct. We are the fastest growing segment in the United States as far as new gun owners. Our 2A community in Dallas Fort Worth has grown immensely over the last year. So this is the expo is a chance to celebrate us. I believe it's the largest type expo in the United States right now, the largest Black expo, gun expo in the United States right now. We're still researching that. But it's not just about guns, right? We have different vendors. We're gonna have music. We're gonna have a kids zone. We're gonna have ladies' night. So it's just a chance for us to come out, become more familiar with firearms. We have different classes: situational awareness, basic pistol, first aid, bug out bag classes. But also you can come out and buy some chicken salad, or purchase a wig, or purchase clothing and stuff like that. So we have different vendors come out. And people say, "Whoa, you sell wigs at a gun show?" Yes, of course.
You
It's
know
us.
what?
We're
I
gonna come
was
in.
thinking that same thing. Wigs at a
Yeah,
gun show.
absolutely. And you know what? When we first brought this out, no one thought it was good idea. They was like, "Oh no, this is not going to work." And we had the largest event in Frisco Gun Club history for our first time up to bat.
Wow.
So yes, it worked. It did work.
So when is that? It's June. It's in July, right?
That's it. June 25th and 26th. Professor Griff of Public Enemy has confirmed he'll be there again this year. We're trying to get some other celebrities out this year, so it's actually growing. We're doing really, really good. We have a full staff. Last year we didn't have a full staff. This year we have a lot of people helping to make this great. So we're expecting great things this year.
And I will say that our Second Amendment Sis podcast is going to be broadcasting. And I know we have other members of our tribe and other media that probably want to broadcast live as well. So you might have to have a rotating schedule
Yeah,
of media, of podcasts, so that
yeah.
or we can have dueling podcasts.
Yes, yes, yes. See,
All,
who
every
gets
corner,
better,
we're gonna
who
have a
get more views.
podcast going on. That's
Good
awesome.
deal.
So now, what is your long-term vision as far as our tribe and real estate?
We want land. Eventually, what we're doing now is generating several streams of income for our group, and those several streams of income will eventually buy land. So we have, we have what's called a building fund. Everybody who went to Black church know what the building fund is. So we have
Right.
a building fund that once money land in the building fund is going to be strictly done for Black owned businesses. So when we start our several streams of income, we have a relationship with firearm legal protection. So you can buy firearm protection, and part of that money goes to the building fund. We're going to have marketing, items and stuff like that. So whenever you buy a shirt or whatever the case may be, part of that money goes to the building fund. So we're just doing. We have a relationship with Fubu Cable, or TV you can trust by Fubu Mobile. We have a relationship with them. So when you have cable service, part of that money will be going to the building fund. So we're just out there, just going and getting several streams, bringing it back to the community, and eventually we'll buy land, put businesses on that land. So when you see our community leasing from someone else and that money just leaving the community, now you be leasing from us, and that money goes back into the community.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. In fact, I am very interested in the cable um, service, because the usual suspects, overcharge you and
Hmm.
just saying give you either something you don't want to look at or more of what you don't need to look at. So I'm very interested in knowing more about that. So we'll be talking about that later. Is there
Okay.
anything else about our tribe and the technology and the Black community that you want to share that I didn't ask?
No, it's just that we're slowly finding out, and we already know it, right? Our ancestors already told us, but we're slowly finding out we're better together. And so our tribe is a platform where everyone could come and still be yourself. You can still be Stephanie Rivers and do our tribe. I could still be Roe and be our tribe. A gun club could still be a gun club, or an attorney can still be an attorney, and you can participate in the our tribe culture. And that's the biggest thing about it, is that the bigger we grow, the more opportunities come to us, and the greater we'll become. And this is something that's going to last for generations. This is nothing that's just a one time. We don't have just one goal and we reach that goal. That's it. Our goal is culture. Our goal is to redefine our culture. And we're responsible for that. We're responsible if we go the route that we're going by not decreasing that wealth gap. Because right now we're one nickel to our European counterparts dollar. So
Hmm.
in order to increase that, we have to do things together. Everyone benefits from the Black community except the Black community, and we got to change that.
Amen. Well, we appreciate you stopping by to talk to us about our tribe. And if people want to know more or they want to find out how they could start an our tribe in their community, how can they reach out to you?
You can download the app, and there's a contact at the bottom of the app to reach out to us. You can join our tribe community on Facebook. Just search for our tribe community. That'll be the best way. You can email me at admin@ourtribe.one. Um, that's probably the best way to contact us. But probably easiest, the less troublesome one is just to download the app and fill out the contact form.
All righty, Ro Brumfield, we thank you for stopping by, and we'll keep everybody abreast of what's going on, and we'll see you at Shot Expo.
All right, and just remember, go to the our tribe community, register for the cryptocurrency class, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Okay, register, go. So on the app, register on the app.
You know what? Thank you for reminding me. Before the night is over with, there'll be a registration on the app. There'll be a button on the app to register for cryptocurrency.
So, but in the meantime, where do I go to register?
Go to the our tribe community on Facebook,
Okay,
and you'll see it on the events. You'll see it there.
okay. I'm going to do that as soon as we get off here.
All righty.
All
Thank you
right.
for having me.
Have a good one.
Take care.
And thank you for joining us. If you want to find out more about our tribe, as Rose said, you can go to the Facebook page, go to Facebook and Our Tribe, conventional spelling, and then you can find out more. He said you can email him. And I tried to pull up the chat box, but nothing is there. It's always something, always something. Because I was going to invite people, but at any rate, to find out more about the things that I care about, you can go to the written version of my journal, and that's at eurweb.com. Thanks, and you have a